It's hard to believe it's been exactly 1 year to the day since David Taylor accepted the job as the head coach of Oklahoma State. And now you think about the year that Coach Taylor and the Cowboys have had over the last 365 days. It's been nothing short of remarkable. I'll get into the year they've had, the ups and some downs, not many, pretty much all ups for Coach Taylor. And it's pretty insane if you stack up all the accomplishments between the recruiting class, the RTC, the senior level performance, what they did at the NCAA stage. These would be career years for the vast majority, more than a majority, of wrestling coaches in America. And he's able to do it in just 1 year. So I'll take it into a couple of different buckets, starting with just the overall NCAA performance, right? This was a team that finished third at the NCAA tournament. And that's an amazing performance. But when you think about the fact that they finished 10th and 18th the two previous seasons, when you think about the fact that they hadn't won the Big 12s in a couple of years, and they won the Big 12s, and I think they set the scoring record there. They were 13-1 in duels. The only duel they lost was the Iowa duel. Otherwise, they were very dominant. They beat some really good teams. Missouri, they beat Virginia Tech, among others. Iowa State. So a really strong duel season. You had this Cliff Keen Las Vegas performance where they had 10 placers, I think 9 in the top 3. Just an unprecedented performance at the nation's toughest in-season tournament, Cliff Keen Las Vegas. And then you think about the moments that they had, right? They had the moment of the NCAA tournament when Wyatt Hendrickson beat Gable Steveson. And that win catapulted Wyatt to not only the NCAA champion, but also the Hodge Trophy winner. And he went through 2 NCAA champions to get that accolade, beating Greg Herfleet and Gable Steveson back-to-back. And then you think about the development you saw with these Cowboys, where they had 4 guys on the podium that didn't place last year. Troy Spradley, you had Caleb Fish, Cam Amin, Dean Hamady. All these guys were off the podium last year. They all got on the podium. Dean Hamady won, beating 2 NCAA champions, beating Levi Haynes and Keegan O'Toole back-to-back. And then you've got Troy Spradley going from round of 12 to second in the country. So insane performance at the NCAA tournament. A lot of very noticeable development, and that's just kept the momentum rolling that Oklahoma State has had in recruiting, right? You think about recruiting, and Coach Taylor's first order of business was locking in that class of 2025, and they were able to lock in D. Lockett, right? The hometown kid, Stillwater, the U20 world champion, guys as good as they come. They flip Landon Robidoux from Minnesota to Oklahoma State. They flip Sergio Vega from Cornell to Oklahoma State. Key pickups there. All 3 top 10 big boarders. Then they add Cody Rutledge, Ronnie Ramirez, and 3 other big boarders. And then for the class of 2026, they got Jax Forrest, who just made incredible waves at the U.S. Open winning. They have Drayshawn Ross, maybe the top heavyweight prospect in the country. They got Kellen Wolbert, an Askren Wrestling Academy prospect, right? And let's go on and let's think about also the recruiting they've done on the RTC front. Recall last year, this time, their really only senior level guy was Dayton Fix, right? And now they've added Roman Bravo Young, Joey McKenna, Zahid Valencia. They've added staff with Coach Zoe and Lee Roper rounding out the Cowboy RTC. And now you're adding Wyatt Hendrickson to that RTC. Dean Hamady going to be wrestling in the RTC. Dustin Plott. So they've gone from almost a negligible RTC to immediately the second best in the country by far. Really, it's Penn State, Oklahoma State, and then there's a chasm between who would be third, right? Maybe it would probably be Cornell, who does a great job. So not only that, think about the Cowboy RTC. A year ago, they didn't have a single person wrestling in any trials finals at the senior level, Olympic or World Team trials. And now, just after the U.S. Open, the Cowboy RTC has 4 wrestlers in Final X already, which is the finals, right? You've got Jax Forrest, Joey McKenna, Zahid Valencia, and Wyatt Hendrickson, all immediately making it to the highest level of USA freestyle wrestling. It's been an incredible resurgence of the Cowboy RTC, and David Taylor obviously rightly saw the success they had at Penn State and how helpful it is for these college wrestlers to be able to train alongside the best in the world, the Zane Rutherfords, the Kyle Snyders, the Cale Sandersons, Jake Varners. I could go on and on with the level of talent that is at State College. And David Taylor is very clearly, and he said this in his opening press conference, we're going to build a world-class RTC. And so you say, okay, that's aspirational. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Well, he did it in less than a year. That's pretty incredible. And now it's very formidable. So I'm looking at all my notes here because, normally I can go kind of off the cuff here, but there's so many accolades and accomplishments that he has. Now, the staff. Okay, that'd be the one thing. It's like, well, that maybe didn't go exactly how you thought. You brought in Jimmy Kennedy and Thomas Gilman from Penn State. Thomas Gilman there a year, then leaves. Not great terms between the two, right? He goes back to Penn State. So that was definitely, not a high point for the Cowboys season. But all that being said, they were seamless from that up until the U.S. Open. They had a great showing there, and looking forward to see what they do at the World Team Trials, Final X, and beyond. And it's crazy that, you think about this move for Coach Taylor, and it was something where in the moment, everyone knew, and everyone could talk about, this is a huge shakeup. This is going to be a game changer for college wrestling. But I think even for the biggest fan of David Taylor, the biggest fan of Oklahoma State Cowboy wrestling, even this would have to be a little bit beyond the year one expectations. Even the most bullish David Taylor supporter have to say, really, you're immediately going to turn the RTC and make it, second best in the country? You're immediately going to bring home a trophy? You're going to take these four guys and get them on the podium from not the podium? You're going to have Wyatt beat the pound for pound number one maybe in the world in Gable Steveson? And that momentum and all the, the good vibes and the success has created a lot of momentum in the transfer portal as well. Obviously, they had a lot of high-impact transfers last year. Now they've added NCAA champion Richard Figueroa, All-American Casey Swiderski, Alex Facundo, a stud out of Penn State, and Zach Ryder, a huge pickup from Penn State to Oklahoma State. So all in all, an incredible year. It's hard to believe it's been a year. It's gone by so fast, but it's hard to imagine or recall a rookie debut quite as impressive as one David Taylor just had.